Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Okay, so this is a Lexus Is200 2003 model. It's been in the family for a long time now, and MOT test is due next month. And I've noticed the brake disc is starting to get a bit worn. Starting to see the lip there, I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, the pads are fine. They were recently changed a few months ago, so they're okay. Keeping the pads. I'm going to show you how to replace the whole disc. I bought some new brake disc for the front, so I think you pronounce it Eacher or something like that. Yeah, so those are new ones. Got a pair of them for from Halfords for, I think it was £76, something like that with tax. But yeah, they're alright. Right, so first step, crack the nuts because they're quite tight and you don't want to jack the car up and then crack it because it will move. So do the nuts, then lift the car up on the jack, and then you can then take the wheel fully off. Okay, what I've done, I've turned the wheel so I can have easy access. Need to remove two bolts, this one and this one. I remove this one first, and then I can lift this up and take the pads off, have a look at them. Then you need to push the piston. There's two pistons, so you need to push them both in. Before you do that though, make sure you go into your engine bay and open the brake fluid. Okay, what you're going to do next is remove the brake fluid cap, which is right here. The reason we do this, on the brakes, you've got two pistons, you push them in, and that will push the fluid back up the system, and sometimes it will overrun. What you might want to do as well, put some tissue around it so it doesn't make a mess. Next, what I've done is turn the wheel so I've got easier access. I'll remove this bolt, which is a 40mm. I can then lift the calipers up and then take the actual brake pads out. Okay, now that I've removed this nut, I've soaked it in some WD-40 just because it's a bit tight to get off, as it will be for an old car anyway. Lift this up. Sometimes I need to just wiggle it. There we go. Alright. Those are the pistons I'm talking about. They'll need to be pushed in, both of them. Also, those clips need to be removed here. Take your brake pads off. Okay, so I've now unclipped the brake pads. As I said before, I've recently changed them, so they're not too bad. I'll reuse them again. Alright, so this is how it is. Right, so the disc is held on by the actual brake caliper, so release the final 40mm bolt and hopefully that should come off and you can pop the brake disc off. Okay, so now you've got the brake disc off. As I've said previously, I've recently did the brakes pad on these, so they're still alright. I'll reuse them. Okay, what you'll need to do next is for the pistons, push them back in. I'm just going to use like a little crowbar or something to push them in, but try not to damage it too much. And then you got final 40mm bolt. That should come straight off, and then the calipers will be loose. Now this can be a little bit tricky because when you push one in, the other one comes out. So what I'll do, I use this tool here and I hold this one in, and then I use like a crowbar and I push the other one out and see how that goes. Alright, so I managed to do that. It wasn't too hard. Next I'll just take off the 40mm, as I said before, the bolt, which is right there. I'm soaking this in WD, and there, I'll get the rest of the brake disc off. Right, now that I've got the main part of the caliper off, I've set it aside. Make sure not to tug or drop it, because you can pull off the brake tube. Next step, you've got two bolts, 17mm, there and there. Just crack them off and that should release the brake disc and this second part of the caliper. Okay, so both of those bolts are completely off. Just now it's shaking, so I can just take the whole component off. You will need a breaker bar unless you're like Superman or something, because those took a lot of effort even with the breaker bar. I'll soak them with WD so they're easier for future purposes. But yeah, just take this part off now, just like that. then you've got the brake disc. Just give it a little tap in the corners just because it's tight, and that should come straight off. Okay, so with a lot of hitting with a hammer, finally got off, and spray some WD as well, soak it in there. Here's the old ones. See where I've hit it with a hammer, but yeah, finally got it off. It was very stubborn. Hopefully the other one's easier. Okay, the next thing I'm doing, I'm just going to wire wheel it just to clean up the surface and the guard, make it look a bit cleaner, and yeah, put the new ones back on. Okay, I've cleaned it all up. You can see all the sediments at the bottom there. A lot of rust came off. Cleaned up very nice, but I'm going to leave it like that for now. Later on, I'll probably take it back off and do the calipers again because they need work again, but don't have the time right now. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, and if you'd like to see the reassembly video, there should be a link popping up soon. Thanks for watching and subscribe.